Hi guys and welcome back to the channel, and let's talk about Bond 26. Now we know it's directed by Denis Villeneuve of the Dune franchise, and the script, which I haven't spoke about yet, I know it was confirmed and announced like a while back, but I've not spoken about it yet. But now I am. Stephen Knight. Is it Stephen Knight or Stephen DeKnight? Stephen Knight. Basically, the creator of Peaky Blinders is writing the script, so you know it could be gritty. I'm liking it, yeah, for Amazon MGM. Yeah, could be gritty. I like that. I love Peaky Blinders. Looking forward to the new film, which comes out next year, I think it is. Yeah. Um, you could get Cillian Murphy as the Bond villain. Although, like, after watching, not that I'm saying he should be the Bond villain right now, but after finishing Dexter Resurrection, which was quite literally the resurrection of the franchise, which was just Peter Dinklage was Leon Prater, and he was phenomenal as the villain, right? The main arc villain. He was phenomenal. And when you see him walking about and he's wearing this little uniform that pretty much resembles a kind of Blofeldy kind of uniform, I'm like, oh, down the line some point, he could be a fantastic Bond villain. Now I know obviously with his height, he is a man who has dwarfism. But I don't think that really takes, because when you watch him alongside Michael C. Hall, the great Michael C. Hall as Dexter Morgan, it worked so freaking well. Now, he would be a fantastic villain. I'm not saying be a Blofeld or one of the Blofelds, but be a villain up against our new James Bond. Oh, and I felt as if Resurrection was essentially his audition for a Bond villain. Superb. But yeah, so we've got all that. But according to National Enquirer, which I've never heard of before in my life, but I'm taking this is a little bit of news from Film Buzzer on Instagram. They are claiming, National Enquirer are claiming that Ariana Grande and Florence Pugh are the two frontrunners to play the next Bond girl. Now, Florence Pugh we spoke about earlier in the year, that she was in the running for some sort of Moneypenny spin-off, prequel series, set in the 50s, but possibly set now, that kind of stuff. And I was like, yes. Yes, yes, yes. Put Florence Pugh in a James Bond movie, or the James Bond franchise. Gorgeous. Now, I would probably much rather her be the Moneypenny for our current James Bond and not a prequel which was going to be an adaptation of the Moneypenny Diaries, which I knew nothing about, never knew it even existed. I heard the name, I wasn't really sure if it was just like fan fiction or that kind of stuff, but it was a proper book franchise, book series. So yeah, Florence Pugh as Moneypenny, like best things in sliced bread. But Florence Pugh, the thing is, but Florence Pugh as a potential Bond girl, which would then mean she's going to be like a one-off Bond girl, because very rarely do the Bond girls pass over to the next one and the next one and the next one. So I'm like, unless it is fantastic, I would much rather her be Moneypenny. But either way, Florence Pugh in a Bond film, gold dust. Ariana Grande though, I just don't see it at all. I'm just not on the Ariana Grande train. I'm really not. I enjoyed Wicked. I thought it was great. I don't like Ariana Grande as it is. I'm just not an Ariana Grande fan, and it doesn't matter how well she does, or how good she is, or how well she's received, and whatever. I'm just not an Ariana Grande fan. And I don't see her as a Bond girl. I'm just like, she's, I don't know. I just feel as if nah. But Florence Pugh though, yes. But I would rather her be Moneypenny than be just a one-off Bond girl. But either way, I'm excited though, because she could be a fantastic Bond girl. And she could come back. You never know, right? They could break away from the whole, like, well, because like Leah Saido, her character, can't remember her name again, but Leah Saido's character, she came back for two. She was Inspector. She was Mr. White's daughter. She came back for obviously No Time to Die. She then obviously birthed Bond's daughter, and it was a emotional ending. I've still not watched No Time to Die since the cinema. I just can't. I've watched bits of it here and there on TV, but I just can't watch it because it kills me. And because I'm a dad myself to a lovely wee daughter, lovely wee girl, I'm just like, I get that passion behind James Bond, behind Daniel Craig, but I just can't watch it. I can't watch that. I can't watch Endgame. I can't watch Clerks 3. The three of those films just broke me as a man. But yeah, what do you guys think? Florence Pugh? Yes. Ariana Grande? No. She might be good. She might be good, but I'm not on that. I'm not on board that train. I just don't get it. Nah. And I know, like Margaret Qualley. Margaret Qualley, yeah. She's a fantastic actress as well. I say fantastic quite a lot. She's just brilliant. Like, and she done the whole, there was a wee kind of like, what was it called again? It was during the Oscars this year. It was a tribute to the Bond franchise, where they had all the music playing, and it was for Barbara Broccoli and her stepbrother Michael G. Wilson, because obviously they stepped away from the Bond franchise. So it's a nice little kind of respectful tribute to them. And Margaret Qualley was like the lead sort of spectacle on stage, the dancer. She was essentially a Bond girl. And at that point, I was like, I really like her, but I was like, oh, damn, she could be a good Bond girl. And if not now, then at some point in the road. But yeah, Florence Pugh, funny enough, I've said that since, and actually, I think I spoke about this with Matty on for a little spin-off thing, the Two Effing Geeks, about Florence Pugh saying, like, I have loved her since Fighting with My Family, and I've always, it was my Bond casting video, and I said that she'd be fantastic as a Bond girl, and her brother in the film would be great as James Bond. He was on my list of who I would like to see as the next James Bond, and I forget his name. That shows how much how memorable he was. It was fantastic, and I thought he could be very good as James Bond. So I've always wanted Florence Pugh in a Bond film at some point somewhere. But yeah, what do you guys think? Comment down below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.